Hello, Brother Sewing and Crafting family. Angela Wolf here, and sorry for the little delay. We had a little bit of a mix-up on the schedule, so here I am. And what we're doing today is a really cute coaster. So did you watch the episode? I think it was about 2 weeks ago when I made those Catch Big Fish mats. Well, they're fantastic. They don't slide around, they don't skid. So today I had mentioned that we're going to do this coordinating coasters. I tested them. They were great. So if you like to drink out of a fancy glass, out of water, orange juice in the morning, whatever, and you're on a picnic and it's super windy or you're on a boat, I've got the solution for you. And this is really easy. So if you go back to that last episode, you can make those mats, which, I was thinking that they would work really well for having cheese and crackers and things like that. Well, the request from the guys is that I make a couple more because they used one to put their tablet in and their glasses and their pens so they're not all over the place. Then actually none of them ended up serving food. So now I have to make more. But we're not doing that today because we already did that. So welcome everyone. I see you. Hey, Amanda. Hey, Stephanie. I have no idea. Facebook changed some rules. So I think we're live streaming on Facebook. But I know we're on YouTube. So that's always the safest place to come is on the YouTube side. Then you'll find us. So, all right. I see everybody rolling in. Let's get over there. You can see my studio is a hot mess. We are taping a new TV show called Sewing Fun 101 with Angela Wolf. So if you have anyone who's never sewn before, they're a super beginner, maybe you want to sew with your kids, your grandkids, your friends, this is going to be it'll be a really fun show for you. But those of you that are advanced, you know where else to find us. All right, so let's head over to the table. I'll show you the supplies. You can see I'm going to be using the Luminaire today. And, last time when we worked on this really crazy slippery fabric, we used the Move It foot, which worked like a dream. But the coaster has a little circle on the inside. It's a little tricky to get those larger stitches using the Move It foot. So I have another solution for you. And of course, there's other feet you can purchase. Maybe the non-skid foot. I think there's a technical name for that. But have you tried the new end foot? For those that have the Luminaire, the Stellaire that has the Stellaire with the upgrade or the Stellaire 2, the new end foot. It slides across there like a dream. So I'll take you on over there. And again, it's so nice to see you all. Leave your comments and questions. I am live, and I will be popping in to take your questions. And it's so great to see you all. And don't worry, Michelle, you're not late because the cameras were loading really slow today. It was really weird. And I'm glad you're on YouTube because you'll find us here. All right, let's head on over to the table. Oh, I do too, Caroline. And by the way, one thing that I do love to do as on my way over there, I love seeing what you all are working on. And I don't always see when you use #BrotherSews. I try to though. But leave a comment below and let us know what's on your sewing table this week because summer's kind of arrived and some of us have more free time. Some of us don't. But a lot of people are out of school now, so there's a lot going on. And hopefully it's in the creative room. All right, let's head on over to the table. Bear with me just for a second here. While we're filming, everything got moved around, so the cameras aren't always in the exact same spot. Okay, head on over here. Now, if you missed that last episode that we did, oh, nope, wrong camera. Sorry. That's what I get for having all purple mats. I never know what table I'm on. Here we go. How's that? That looks better. So if you missed that last episode, I was doing some things for my boat, but these things would work good for if you're having a party outside. It's super windy. So this was the embroidery for the wine koozie and stuff. We won't need that. So a couple things here. If you like drinking out of a cup, you might like a koozie. Now you can buy these blanks. They're not a Brother product, but you can embroider on these. You can do vinyl. You've got the sublimation printer now, and this would be perfect for that. But I always keep one of these because I can trace it. And also, remember the non-skid stuff we worked on recently? This would be a perfect thing to add to the bottom. So let me just brighten you up a little bit so you can see what's happening here. we go. I don't know about you guys, but I had a great weekend. But you know, the weather changed from super nice and sunny. I was doing some sewing and embroidery this weekend, and I swear it could have snowed on Sunday. It was like, what happened? Okay, so just to recap, this is the foot we used last time. When you're working on really sticky fabric, and we had a couple layers of this, kind of this vinyl. This is basically just a vinyl, be the correct word for it. But sewing across this can really be challenging. So this is the Move It foot we used, and I want to give you a little close-up. And if you missed this episode, I'll drop below what episode it was. Maybe somebody here remembers. I want to say it was 2 weeks ago. So this button here is the engage and disengage button. And so when this is up, it brings this entire lever up. So you're basically sewing like a regular foot then. And some people were asking, what's the difference between this foot and what's the difference between a walking foot? Well, the big thing is this plugs into your machine. When this is enacted, this belt here, you can control how fast it rolls. So as you're going across fabric, instead of just having the feed dogs down below, you have the feed dogs and you have this working. So it's really amazing. And there's a few different feet. You might want to visit your brother dealer because there are a few different feet that you can buy. This is the one I was using, so I could I could kind of guide my seam allowance there. But anyways, that's the difference. So it's not a walking foot, it's a Move It foot. Okay, so the foot we're going to be using today is the new end foot. And this is the one, look at this. It slides right across there. Now I'm going to grab my just regular J foot and show you the difference here. Now there are other feet you can purchase as well. Maybe you have some in your toolbox. Now when this goes, see how it goes, but it's a little stiff. This slides right across. I'm laughing. Do you guys hear that bird? I have a feeling I have a bird in my office. That's what I get for leaving the doors open. So if something flies by while we're sewing, just let me know about it, okay? And hopefully it's a nice bird, not like a woodpecker or something, because those are outside too. Okay, so you need to measure your wine glass, and I brought it over here to the table. Let me just show you. Now, again, maybe you like to drink water out of this. It's not just for cocktails. I love drinking orange juice. I love drinking water. I love drinking out of a wine glass. I don't know. It's just my thing. Last week I had water with lemon in here and I was drinking it on the live show and I thought, I don't know if that looks good, but it is water with lemon. So this is the base that we're going to cover with our coaster, and we don't want it to wobble around. So if you're at a picnic table or maybe you're sitting outside on your deck and it's really windy, you want to stabilize this. So this is what we're starting with. Head back to the table. Oh, Sandra, I'm sorry. We have to squirrel back. Sandra's making some more of those insulated bags. Those bags, I have 2 on my floor right now. I carry them to the grocery store. They're amazing. I never thought I'd really use them, but they fit so much food in there, don't they, Sandra? So what fabric did you choose? Is it like a theme or just plain old Jane fabric? Either's good. I've got my fishing one. I'd still like to get maybe a pink one. There you go. Shelda has the Teflon foot. Perfect. Yes, Cindy. Oh, thanks, Cindy. I have to confess I didn't make it. I did not make it. Caroline loves the new end foot. Oh, Amanda, that sounds exciting. All right, back to the table. Okay, so here's our glass. Now I had made this template before, 4x4, and that worked pretty good. But the idea is you have another template here. So this would be the base fabric. This is the top fabric. And you have to imagine that this glass will slide in between the pieces of fabric like this. Okay? So there's no strap holding it in, but because we're using this basically vinyl fabric, it shouldn't skid anyways. So let me just show you how to do this because your glass might be different than mine. So I did this 4x4, but I need more room. So this is actually going to be my seam. I need to add a seam allowance to this because when I tried this size, it was just a little bit too small. This piece here, you want it to slide where this edge goes right to the edge of your stitching, which you'll see here. So 4x4, I cut this 4x4, and then I literally folded this in half and drew myself a line here so it went around the stem of the wine glass, okay? So you can make your own pattern. I know somebody's going to pop in and say, where's the pattern? You're going to make your own. 4x4, cut this 4x4 and fold it in half, line it up right here, slide your wine glass, and I literally just drew and cut around it, okay? I could have even cut a little bit more. You want it to, so you can slide this in pretty good. Now, with all of these, the outer edge, I need to add a little more room for my seam allowance. So here's our vinyl. See if we can make that just a little bit brighter. I know it doesn't want to go brighter today. Here we go. Oh, and I'll tell you what, this fabric, it shines so much in the sunlight, you almost have to wear your sunglasses. Okay. Make sure that I'm right here with you. This would make a great gift. You could make about 10 of these. Now, I'm not adding embroidery to this one, but I showed you in the last one how to add embroidery, and you could totally do that here. I could see putting people's initials on here, monogram, any of the above. All right, so for the bottom piece, we want this piece, but this will be facing up. Now, the bottom side of this is a nice off-white soft fabric. So there's no need to put another piece of fabric underneath. If you're using vinyl, it's not going to fray. So I'm going to cut this just a wee bit bigger than my 4 inches. Like I mentioned, I wanted mine to be just a little bit bigger. I noticed, now of course I'm using mine for boating, but I noticed when the waves were, it was pretty sporty. And this whole section and the glass did not move. So I could drink my orange juice, I drank my water, no spillage and no broken glasses. All right, so here's this one. So cut 2 of this size. So if you made yours a little larger, whatever you did, cut 2 of them. All right. And then you're going to cut 1 more. So I guess I could have just condensed that. Cut 3 of these. Here. Make sure it's nice and straight, that they all match up. So you need 3 pieces of vinyl. You're going to love this. This is the easiest project you're ever going to see. Do those match? No, not really. Let's make sure that these two match. So this one is a little bit smaller, so we'll keep these 2 together. Okay. Then you have your little rubber bottom. You've seen this probably in shelves. Thanks, Peg, for reminding me what the heck this was called. And one side has a little thicker nubs on it. So that's the side that will be facing down. For now, it doesn't matter because we're just cutting this 4x4 or whatever size you have. So I'm going to cut this a little bit larger. We're going to trim it when we're finished. I just find that to be a little easier. Okay, so I brought the canvas over. I'm not going to be using that today, but just to give you an idea, you could cut one of these out of the canvas. So to explain how this is going to be put together, you have your base. This will be sewn together. Then you have this piece here, which you will put these right sides together. Wrong sides together, I should say. Right sides facing out. This is going to be this piece right here. So once we have it cut and sewn, there's your glass, and this will wrap around with these 2 pieces. Very, very easy. Now, if you want to get fancy, this top piece could be canvas, which would be really easy to embroider on. So you could actually color coat these. But the main parts that you don't want to change is the bottom, because this makes it skid proof. this piece here, because this will sit on here and hardly slide. And then when you have these two pieces cut, this piece here needs to be that vinyl because this will hold on to that glass. Did you get the mathematics of that? I know it's not Monday, but it is early. Okay, so I'm going to take this. Let's trim this just a little bit more. So the first one you're going to sew is the top part, which is this. So put the wrong sides together. I've got a few clips here ready to go. And when we stitch, we're going to stitch all the way around, and then we need this little circle on the inside. So I found it was a little tricky to draw on this fabric. So just give you a little hint here. Fold it in half. If you fold it in half, you know what happens. Whatever you cut, at least both sides will match. Slide this here. So that's my inside section. Let's grab some scissors here. And since I made mine just a little bit bigger, that looks pretty good. You want it to be a nice curve, though, on the inside. Let me lay this on the mat so you can do some measurements here. When I folded in half, I went in about 1/2 inch and then curved down and just curved that till it met at the end. How does it look? Pretty good. So when this slides in there, see how that wraps around? So if it's on both sides, this side will help it from not sliding. So we need to cut the exact same thing out of this one. It's a little easier on the fold. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I think it would be easier just to lay this. I didn't even think about this last time. This would be a lot easier. Let me just cut it so it's a little more of a circle. It kind of looks like a triangle. There, that looks better. So again, these two pieces are going to be exactly the same. So let's just clip these. And once we sew around it, then I'll cut this other one right here. So you're going to sew all the way around like this. And then you can either sew around the edge now to keep those together, because then this is going to be sewn right onto here. But first we need to cut this section here. So let's just go ahead and sew all the way around it. And again, you have great opportunity to put some vinyl here. Or if you use the canvas, you could create words that go around. I would love to see what you guys come up with, because you guys are a lot more creative than I am sometimes. I say sometimes. I got to give myself a little credit there. Okay, so there's our piece. We need to stitch all the way around, and let's head to the machine. Do you have any questions for me as I head to the machine? Just out of curiosity. Oh, hey, Michelle. I knew somebody would come up with a great brother solution to this. Yeah, scan it, cut it on the scan and cut. We could cut a whole bunch of these. Very good. That was a good idea. Just knew you, but you could. Yes, I could have. I could have embroidered my top, but I didn't. All right, let's head to the sewing machine. Okay, that looks pretty good. So I'm using the Luminaire today. Of course, any of your brother machines will work great. We need our end foot. And I just have regular white thread in there for now. That's what I was using last time, so but I'll just leave it. And I'm going to use a sewing stitch, or this is what you should choose, just so you know. Okay, here's a question for you. Do you like sewing with your needle in the left side position or the center? I'm just curious. I'm not going to use the triple stitch on this because just going around that curve, it gets a little tricky when it goes back and forth. So I'm using a straight stitch, and I'm going to use a stitch length of 3.0 for this, even though we might use larger when we go around the entire thing. But 3.0, when you're going around curves, you want to use a little bit of a less of, I should say, stitch length than when you're doing the straight sides because it's easier to get around the corners. It's your little tip for the day. All right, back over. Okay, let's see what we got. I really don't even need the clips, but I'll keep it there just in case it decides to slide. Start at the end. And don't start right at the very end. I'm starting in about 1/8 of an inch. I'll do a stay stitch, which is right here. That locks your stitch, so it won't come out. I'm going around the curve. I like to go a little slower when I go around the curves, so you can see if you're using just a little bit of a longer stitch length, or shorter, I should say, than when we go around the other sides. It just makes it easier to get around those curves. And if for any reason you have a super sharp curve, like I'm going to stop right here. I'm changing the stitch length to 2.5. It actually won't look like 2.5 on here, but it will go around this curve really nice. I just thought of something. I was thinking, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to stitch these together. Yeah, I am. Is that what you're thinking? How are you going to get the wine glass in there? Remember, this is just the top piece. Did I read your mind? I'll go around to the other side. Now, these were not cut exactly the same. I'm not worried because we're going to fix that here in just a minute. I'll do another stay stitch. And let's make sure that it went all the way around. It did. I want to do one more layer because this one on the inside didn't quite capture all the way. It did capture, but I want it to be a little further out. So let's do one more row of stitching. It's just decorative anyways, right? And look at how nice this end foot is gliding over sticky, sticky vinyl. So I saw somebody asking about the Stellaire. It came with the Stellaire 2 upgrade, but you can purchase this foot from your brother dealer. So just go visit your brother dealer. Oh my goodness, can you guys hear that bird? Let's just hope there aren't eggs in here or something. I do leave the door open more than I probably should. Getting back to another curve, so I'm going to slow it down just a little bit. All right. That looks really nice. It's not totally straight around the curve, but you know what? I'm the one that's drinking the water, so I don't think it's going to bother me. Head to the machine. Take that back. Head to the table. What did you say, Bev? If you want a 1/4 inch put in right, depends on what I'm sewing. You mean for seam allowance? You can use any seam allowance you want to. Oh, I see you guys talking about this. Yeah. So I'm using about a 1/4 inch seam allowance, but you can use anything you want to because it's kind of decorative, right? Cindy, you were thinking the same thing. How are you going to get the wine glass in there? So this is the top layer. I know. All of a sudden I was like, oh, wait a minute. I know. Glenda, Facebook isn't cooperating with live streams anymore. So keep in mind, for most of the live streams, I would go to YouTube. It's more reliable. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with them. It says it's on there, but I don't see it on there. All right, so are we at the table? Yeah, okay. So this side and this side are both correct now. Now let's go in here and trim this. It's a lot easier to cut this after you get around here. Oh, that looks pretty good. See? That's what I was making. So now this part will be attached to this part. So the first thing we need to do is attach this entire piece right here. And then we'll go ahead and stitch this onto that whole section. If you want to, you could slide this back a little bit, and that way you can sew everything together. It's totally your choice. Let's see. Make sure it fits okay. Now we'll sew this part first because this gets really tricky. Now when I made mine, I was flying through them, not trying to explain what was happening. So once you start sewing these, it's really, really fast. All right. Back to the luminaire. Okay, now you could put clips on here, but again, I cut this just a little bit wider because we'll trim this off. I love that this has a grid on it. It's kind of easy to follow. So again, I'm starting in about 1/4 inch. Oops, it looked like my needle came unthreaded. It did. Okay, here we go. The beauty of an automatic needle threader. Now I'm using a number 14 denim jean needle. I just find that works really good when going through a lot of layers of fabric. And you know, what's interesting is I still have not changed my needle since making that pair of jeans with you guys a couple weeks ago on my show. So I'll be curious to see if we have any skip stitches, because if we do, if you ever have a skip stitch, first check how the machine is threaded. 2, check the needle. If you've been using the same needle for a while, I can probably guarantee you that's part of the issue. So look at how nice this end foot's just sliding right over. Perfect. No, I'm not going to sew it and flip it over because none of these fabrics will fray. So you can just trim the edges. So I said this is going to be the easiest, fastest coaster and super fun. Your friends will be super impressed if you have an outside party and give these away. All right, there's that. Grab the other one, slide it right on top here. And it doesn't quite match. It doesn't matter. We're going to trim this entire thing when we're finished anyways. All right, so start in about 1/4 inch. Do a stay stitch. You don't want a big old ugly back stitch on there. Not that it's ugly. Now I'm changing my stitch length to 3.5. You could even go 4.0 if you want. See how nicely that goes over the straight edges there? So again, you're not going all the way to the end. Stop about 1/4 inch. Do a stay stitch. Let's turn. I'm going to have to add some vinyl here. Maybe I'll do my logo, or I don't know, the last little batch of stuff that said catch big fish sure worked because it came in first that day. Maybe I should put little fishies all over this, but I want this to be a little more dainty because I might use this on the back patio if I have friends over. Let's do a stay stitch right there. I'll go ahead and just stitch off. Okay. So here's the top. Look at how fast and easy this is. There's the backside. Hope I've got one thread in there, which will come out. But because the backside had that beautiful cream, and then this stuff is cream, there was no need to add a second layer back there. All right, let's head to the table. I know the sewing room's so clean right now. Oh, Cindy, did you say you're seeing the light? Okay, good. It's looking good, right? Hi, Delia. Great to see you. Would it help to put some tearaway stabilizer at the bottom to help glide through the machine? You know what? It worked fine. I thought it looked great. Thanks, Lorraine. Priscilla, I'm using the end foot, the new end foot. It's a little bit slicker. So if you go back and watch this from the beginning, I showed it really good. It slides right across this crazy fabric. Yeah. All right. So let's head over to the table, and we're just about finished here. I know there's a lot of live shows going on this week, so I so appreciate you coming and hanging out with me for a little bit. So guess what I'm sewing tomorrow on my live show? I'll give you a hint. I'm going to be using the airflow serger. It's something that maybe everybody could use, possibly. It goes in the bedroom. Oh, it could go for camping too. They're very expensive to buy. All right, a duvet cover. Yeah, that's what we're doing on my show tomorrow. You're probably like, wait, we always do garments. Yeah, I know, but I really need a new duvet cover. And so I'm going to make this kind of a color blocked, and we're going to work with some of the embroidered buttonholes. If you have that on your machine, you won't want to miss this. It'll be a lot of fun. That's tomorrow at 1:30. And again, we'll be using the airflow serger and buttonholes embroidered. So I'm just basically just truing this fabric so it's all even now. Hope I missed that one just a little bit. All right, how's it look? This side, I'm just going to fix this just a little bit more. There we go. So there's my stitching. You can just barely see it. The back side, look at skid proof. Take your water glass, your orange juice glass, whatever, slide it in here and check this out. It's not moving. And we were in probably 4-foot seas. So even if the wind's blowing really hard on a picnic table, check that out. Now, I'm not guaranteeing it, but I can tell you this is a really cool thing to go with your little mats that you made recently. So, all right, that's easy. How easy is that? And then I brought this one out because I want to take just a little bit of this here, and I'm going to attach it to the bottom. So again, this is a blank for those of you that missed the beginning. So the easiest way to do this, if you buy a blank, or you can even open up your Koozie, don't try to cut that circle perfectly like this. Stitch around it and then trim the excess off. And once that's sewn together, you could make your own too, by the way. Once I put that on there, I just fold these up, sew down each side, flip it right side out, and you have a Koozie. And then you have the non-skid part there. So instead of it sliding all over, this will be on the bottom, and guess what? It won't move. So there's your, you've got your drinks covered now for the week. You have any parties coming up that you could use this for? I know, very fun. Oh, I see some of you saying you just found us. I know. For some reason, Facebook isn't working again. We just got a new announcement that they changed a few things. So when we're able to live stream right to YouTube and Facebook at the same time, sometimes Facebook doesn't allow that anymore. They're changing it. Maybe they'll get the kinks out. So I'm glad you found us on the YouTube channel. Oh, Bev, I'm going to miss you tomorrow. Good luck at surgery. Oh, hey, Claudia. So the vinyl you can find at any fabric store. And the non-skid, go to the home deck section. So it's a very common fabric store. and probably a lot of your fabric stores will have it. Maybe a crafting store, check that. If you need to know exactly where I bought it, you can just message me. But it's a very common fabric store. Go in the home deck section. They had 3 different types. They had, this was kind of an off-white. They didn't have black, but they had a few other colors. And it's basically, you know where else I found it? At the hardware store. Again, not a brother store or product, but the section where it's organizing, where you put it on shelves. They had it there too. So vinyl is the fabric I'm using. The non-skid stuff is in the home department or the home deck department. Make sense? Cindy, are you multitasking? And Priscilla, did you get you got the thing about the end foot? So Priscilla, what machine do you have? Because the new end foot came with the luminaire. It came with the upgrade for the Stellaire, but you can purchase it from your brother dealer for your machine. Oh, you're welcome, Claudia. Aren't they fun, Emily? Nice to see you. And so if you have, okay, so Emily, you just made me think of this. What if you have a kids party? Okay, you could have these for maybe non-skids on the bottom of their plastic cups that they're always spilling. I can't guarantee they won't still spill it, but yeah, that's the same stuff, Cindy. The stuff they use in the silverware drawers or carpet non-slip. Either would work. It's kind of the same thing. Oh, Priscilla, you have the luminaire. So you have that foot. So let me show it to you again real quick, just in case. I don't know if you have the 1, 2, or 3, and I cannot remember. Does anybody remember when the new end foot came out? Which version of the luminaire? I know, my memory's just lapsed today. So in the last episode, we used the Move It foot, the digital dual Move It foot. This is the new skinny mini one. It went through all of this fabric beautifully. We made those nice trays. I don't have them here because they're on the boat. And then this is the new end foot. So it has that non-stick backside. So look at this. Just goes right across there. So simple. Yeah. I think sometimes we forget about this foot and we only use it for decorative stitching. So I don't know, just a reminder. Pull it out of the drawer. All right, so that's a wrap, guys. If you have any questions, you can drop them below. I always go and check them out later. I know some of you have been watching. Oh, with the upgrade, everyone said. Okay. Have been watching, going to angelawolf.com to look at the calendar. I apologize. I didn't have the show on there because the schedule got a little mixed up. So when you go on there, there'll be a schedule. You can go back and watch past shows. If you've got a favorite person you like to watch on that calendar, you can punch in their name. And I only started this as of January. So all the past ones, you'll have to go to Brother's YouTube channel to search. But I'm just trying to make it easy for you to go back and watch episodes that might have to do with your machine. Yeah. Oh, that would be nice. Cindy, that's a good idea. Add some decorative stitching there. Maybe in navy blue to match the mats I made. I think so. Dalia needs them to keep her glasses safe from the great grandkids. Good luck, Dalia. Good luck. I want to know if it works. Oh, Lorraine says you can also get that fabric in camping stores. Little fish. Oh, I like that. Cindy, I could make my own stitch in, yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I can make my own stitch with little fish. Perfect. Oh, you guys are great. All right. So I know you guys have a lot to do today. There's a lot of live shows going on today. So thank you for being here. Brother, thanks for letting me take over your page. And don't forget, guys, brothersews.com. They have 2 blogs, the sewing and the crafting. They've got Facebook, YouTube, and don't forget to use hashtag #BrotherSews. Give this show a big heart or a like down below so Brother knows you liked what we were making today. And the next live show for Brother is on Tuesday. Kathy Gandy, speaking of grandmas, she's doing grandma camp stuff. And I got the whole list, and it's really going to be fun. She's got the sublimation printer there. She's got, let's see, Scan and Cut, the Stellaire, because she's adding some embroidery. Yeah. So get ready for next Tuesday. In the meantime, if you want to make a bed duvet cover, I'll be there at 1:30 tomorrow on my channel. Go to angelawolf.com. All right, brother, thanks for letting me take over. And you guys have a great day. Leave your questions if you're watching the replay. I'd be very happy to come back and answer those for you. So until next time, happy sewing.